Here is a suggestion I have had for a long time in VP4, allowing us to use the numpad numerical buttons as camera buttons targeted around the table. Why, you ask? It benefits anyone watching as a spectator. They don't have to keep using the V donut button to move around the table. It also helps anyone as a live streamer, me, to have a more professional-looking camera work. Players in-game themselves can quickly tab the relevant camera buttons if they so wish to during play and whilst also watching opponents shoot.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to VP4 TV. Welcome to all the people I've missed in the chat. We've had an update to VP4 today, and the update was to tighten the rack, according to Steve last night, and it was also mainly to fix the racks run and the racks high run bug that was in the 10 ball World Championship tournament stats. So that has been done. I did a small test on the 10 ball break, and that consisted of 4 breaks. The first 2 breaks were broke from the right side of the centre line, if you imagine the centre line down the table, but just slightly to the right of the centre line, maybe 4 inches, 3-4 inches to the right, and I broke, and the ball split open nice. I got a ball in the break. Second break, I did exactly the same from a similar spot on the right, broke again, got a ball in the break. Now, the third break, I decided to break further to the right, to the first diamond on the right. In fact, beyond that, nearer the rail. I then broke and got what's commonly called, in American pool obviously, a slug break. The balls died on me, nothing went in. And then the fourth break, I went back to the slightly to the right of the centre line, broke. They broke nice again, but I didn't get a ball in the break, and then I ended it at that because I had to get set up for the stream. So I didn't do what you would call in-depth testing. But according to Larry, who obviously, and Bedhead, I didn't hear anything from Bedhead, but Larry was in practicing some breaks and he thinks he's made it worse. So you have to judge for yourself. Yep, that's a problem. But as I say, and you know, I think the story I can get from MC Clarkey is that he sent a proposal to Slim. He had no response today from Slim. Matt came in earlier on and asked if Slim had been in. I told him he was in actually playing in a tournament or two earlier on today. And then Slim arrived about half an hour ago. He had gone for a nap. And then Matt was there and they both arranged a match, which unfortunately for me is just it would be too rushed to try and set up the stream. So I'm going for the one that I've been prepared for, which is this one on the one loss side between Cobra and LS3. Welcome everybody. I've missed the names going up the chat. And the match between Slim and Matt has been arranged. I mean, it's not even on the schedule because I haven't refreshed it, but well, it won't be there now if they've started. It's probably been there and then disappeared because they're now underway. The two of them are in. We've got about 4 minutes to go. What else was I going to say? Earlier on today, there was only 3 matches scheduled. But in the meantime, there's been more, including the one that started. We have this match between Cobra and LS3 about to go ahead. We have Fast Eddie and Z Karaoke going ahead tomorrow night, British Summer Time, which is going to be 6 p.m., 1800 hours. And we also have Shibo. In fact, that second match is a winner's side match. Shibo against Tommy is tomorrow night as well, which is an hour later. So again, we're going to have a crossover. Nothing we can do about that. The third match is a one-loss side match. Then we have Interchange X against Power Slam on that one-loss side. and that is going to be US time. It's 1 AM in the morning on Wednesday. Now, I actually could get that because I'll be off, my days off. I go back to work tomorrow for 1 day and then I'm off again because I've obviously been off today for reasons that most people will know about. So I might get that match on the one loss side, but I think that is it worth setting up, because I think Interchange X should maybe take care of Power Slam. I don't know. I might be wrong. But we've also got the match between Larry and Hairpig on the one loss side, which is at 8 PM on Wednesday night. So I will get that one. And then we have a match that's been arranged, Mr. Fox and Spectre Dawn, and that's going to be next Tuesday, so that's a ways off. So those are the current matches in the schedule. We go to the bracket and go to try and find the match that has started. Where the hell is it? Now, why can't I see the thing? Have I just gone past it again? It is a one-loss side match, that, isn't it? Where the hell is it? Right. Hang on a minute. I'll be with you in a minute, guys, to get my head round where I am here. That's the match we're waiting on. Oh, there it is. There it is. At the moment, it's 3 racks all between Slim and Matt. Now, Steve never said last night, welcome to Spectre, welcome to Bedhead, welcome to Bill, welcome to Brainfillout, and welcome to everybody else that I might have missed. Steve never said he would be here tonight, so presumably he's busy. I'm just going to have a quick look, because I am in Discord. I'm not in the VP4 TV commentary booth, but as he's not said that he's intended to be here, the assumption is that he isn't. So, unfortunately, it'll just be me you'll have to put up with. Well, we've got a king of virtual pool, the current king, and that is Cobra. Maybe it's quite fitting that Cobra is from the UK and LS3, she is from the UK, the potential queen of VP4. Today marked the final resting place for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I was up before 8 o'clock this morning and I sat through the whole thing from 8 o'clock this morning till 5:05 this afternoon because I wanted to see it. Because I've never seen anything like it before, and I'll be dead and gone before the next one, I would assume. In fact, I thought I'd be dead and gone before she was dead and gone. So I just made a point in watching it to see all the ceremonial and all the things that were happening, and it was worth watching. Because, as I say, it's a piece of history, and it will always be there to be watched. If you ever want to watch it again, and it will happen in the archives, it will be in the archives. But I've seen it. At least I can say I saw it. A lot of people haven't been bothered, and going by my general opinion, I shouldn't have been bothered either. But that's immaterial. You have to be either present, which hundreds of thousands of people have been. But I watched it. So the room is up. They're probably lagged off with me rabbiting on. And we'll go in. And we're in the first rack. Now, one thing I also need to mention, with these stats being updated, there's probably a valid reason why these two players are in the one loss side. And I don't know whether you guys have looked at the stats, but these two have got an appalling break and run record. And that is probably the nicest way to put it. Their stats on break and run, I think, let's have a quick look while Cobra's trying to finish this rack, but you've got to see this. Break stats, 10 ball stats, racks ran. If you look at the racks ran, you'll see that Machine's way out in front. Now again, remember, take it out of context or in context. Some of these players have played more matches than others, but we're talking about the two players that are here tonight. At the moment, you've got Machine on 16, Stubb on 10, Bedhead on 8, Spectre on 8, 7, and so on and so forth. But you're going to have to go a long way down, before you first catch LS3. And she is stuck way down there in 1. And there is Cobra, just 2 below her. And he's on 1 rack ran. The rack's high run, I think, well, I don't think that makes very great reading, but LS3's got 2 and Cobra's got 2. So, in fact, we're still in this first rack. So that's the problem, is finding a break and being able to follow it through. Well, that's true, but they've played 1 match each, and that's why they've ended up the 1 loss side. And if they're going to survive later in the tournament, that stat needs to go up a fair bit, starting with tonight. And it just shows you that they never really got going, either of them, and that's the root cause of. It's the most obvious cause of, not getting there, not getting the job done. So the interesting thing to watch in this match is how it's going to pan out as far as the quality of this break for these two. But Cobra is going to get the job done here, and while he's finishing off, I'm just going to tab back to the bracket so that we can keep an eye on the other match very quickly. Now let's see if I can go past it again. I've gone past it already. There it is, and it is currently 5-3 to One Pocket Slim. Right, we could settle down now, no more messing about. Or LS3 was at the table. Yes, I'm already confused, because I'm trying to look back at the chat and look back at the stats. So Cobra going loads of right English, and just caught that knuckle a wee bit, and the problem now is he's going to have to get right into the cue ball again, and if he gets into it too much, he could end up somewhere over on that left side. It might not be too pretty, bearing in mind where the 7 and 8 are sitting. The camera buttons won't help when the numpty commentator is watching the stats page. Well, I think the room's there to get to this possible combo, and the 5's going to get called. It's now 81% on the camera options question. 81% favour. Now here's the critical shot. Cobra can use that 7 ball as a stopper. I mean, it's there as a guard for the cue ball, unless he wants to stick this in the middle of the table, and then he'll have plenty of room. And now this is the one that's just going to be a bit tricky, because this is going to have to probably go across the table twice. Don't know whether he can nurse this in and hold it. Well, he's done his best, and that's pretty good. Yeah, the support page says that he fixed the 10 ball racks ran and racks high ran stat. He's fixed that bug, and he's also tightened the rack. It's a bit vague though, because it says on some games, it doesn't say on what games. So we'll have to ask him whether it's the 9 ball and 10 ball, or whether it's just 10 ball itself. Not according to Larry. Larry wasn't too impressed with it from what he said in the lobby. So remember, these 2 matches that are on tonight are both 1 loss side matches, race to 13, and Cobra has got a pretty solid start. It's going to be 2-0, and while he's doing that, quick look, and we will see that Matt is back to within 1, trailing by 5 racks to 4. Well, that was the same, Bedhead. As I said, I only did 4 breaks, 2 of which were good, but I don't know whether there was anything to be found in what I said. That I broke. If you look where the 7 ball is, where that 7 ball is sitting, is where I was breaking from in the first 2 breaks that I did, and I got a ball in the break each time, 1 ball. Now I broke from sort of there for the 3rd break, and I got a slug break. The rack was dead, and then I went back over here for my final break, broke again. The balls broke nice. They all opened up. I didn't get a ball, but that's where it ended at that point. So from just 4 breaks, the one that went further to the right ended up in the dud break. And I don't know whether there's any significance in that at all. That probably not. An LS3 having to kick, but there's no cover, I don't think. And well, looking at the table, if we're trying to pick some sort of issue, the only real issue will be how good that Cobra gets in the 7, and the likelihood is it will be pretty good, because the 5 ball is in a fairly good spot down that left rail. Although from the 2 to the 4 is going to determine how convenient it is on the 4 to get nicely on that 5. Oh, I tried to scratch. Now that's not necessarily it. He's got to try and get into this gap, round behind the 7 and between the 7 and 8. Looks like it from looking at this angle. Well, it's not perfect. Bear in mind, it's not that dead set easy to get good in the 7. The YouTube messages aren't being restreamed. Hang on a minute to tab out. Give me a sec. Well, I've had a quick look, Larry, and everything looks fine. It's showing how many people are on YouTube. I don't know what the issue will be there. It's not giving me any hint that there's a problem. And obviously from this situation, LS3, I think, can sneak the 8 in. Problem is, she's going to have to sneak the 8 in and can't do a great deal with the cue ball. I don't think she dare risk it. So, apologies if the chat is indeed broken one way or another. Everybody could jump onto Twitch. If it's working, just go to Twitch and search for 9ball.com in the search window and you'll find the channel. Well, that's a good effort from LS3. It was not easy from that 8 ball to have a half decent shot in the 9. But she's going to get in the board. Well, semi-pro's chat's working, Larry. The YouTube messages aren't being restreamed. And semi-pro's just typed in Twitch, so I don't know what the problem is, Larry. Not Twitch. I did say YouTube, did I? I can't remember what I'm saying. I'm trying to think and look at the table and read the chat at the same time. And Larry's isn't. Well, I've not got anything against you, Larry. I've not I've not interfered with your profile or whatever on YouTube. I'll give you the standard Solaris response. It's your system. Oh, well, it's hung the 2. And, well, LS3's odds in running this rack are not great, considering where the 5 ball is. And that wasn't great either. This obviously pots, but the cue ball is heading. And it's going to miss the side pocket. That's a definite. And it might be dangerous with the pace that this could end up somewhere by the 10 and 8. Well, she's trying to go on the short side. stunned it to the rail rather than let it run. Now, I think she can get into this cue ball enough. She's having a look. I mean, it's a very tiny window, and especially at that angle, to try and get on the 5 on that right side. To try and get the 5 on this side, again, there's a window, so she's trying to get the break out, and that's a missed call. And Cobra might be enticed into the bank. Well, I agree with you there, Semi-Pro, because her standard has improved. I remember commentating in some of her matches where she was just having a bash on occasions rather than maybe putting her mind to the job in hand. And certainly seems to have upped her game and had some good results from it. Especially that. Cobra's now got himself in trouble. Yeah, that worked with. And Larry's working on Twitter. What happened, Larry, then? It's now working. So, Cobra doing the sensible thing. Taking his medicine. Playing the deliberate foul. Trying to lock up the couple of balls. Although he's not been particularly successful. This is just a little test of pace. And LS3's pace is very good. And you have to have trust in your mouse settings to be able to play those. And she's got no fear. Because that's half the battle with a lot of players. Now, here we go. Don't go top side of the 10. Somewhere past the side pocket. Don't go top side of the 10. Don't go there. That's exactly where you don't want to be. Now, that's the one shot. Yeah, I mean, even if you're here, you're still favourite to be potting that 10 ball. And this is dodgy. And you've got to watch the cue ball. Watch that side pocket. And she might not even have played the pot there. I could give her the benefit of the doubt because the end result is good. And Cobra's going to play the bank, but he's got a wee bit of room off the rail because he's going to have to make the bank. Now he's decided that it isn't on. And now who's going to blink first? You think she played the safety there, pot man, or went for the pot? I think it looks the way it was played, it looked like a safety. Went for the rack. Well, that's a good safety from Cobra. But I think LS3, although she's calling a pocket, she's only going to roll onto this. That's a bit heavy. But the double kiss worked. Welcome to Tommy. Now, just while this safety's been played, quick look at the bracket again. Well, this match is going very slow, isn't it? It's still 8 racks to 4, so there must be a bit of a safety battle. Or was it 5-4? I've totally forgotten now. Somebody's going to make the mistake and leave a snip of a chance, and then somebody is going to have the nerve to take it on. And this 10 ball's got to stay tight. Now you see that's come off the rail, and I don't think that Cobra will refuse this one. I think he's on a good side of the 10. It's off the rail. Well, again, yeah, he is calling it this time. Pretty certain he's going to have a go at it. Or she is anyway, sorry. That looks good to me. It looks perfect.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
That was always a good invitation to take on the bank, and that's the pace you've got to play them at. You've got to give it every chance to hold the line. And we're all square. Cobra says. Well, the conversation went crap when Cobra played that shot earlier on where he got hooked. And LS3 responded saying, "You play my safeties for me, okay, deal." And then he says, with that last shot, set you up for banks also. So, 2 racks all. No shot in the 1. And bumping the 7 has helped very nicely, because that's got the lockout on the 1 ball. Top left pocket called, obviously, because there's a chance it could go in. Now he needs to get a roll. Well, this is asking to be put in trouble here. LS3's got to find cover though, because this 1 ball's heading down the table into open country, and she has got the cover. That's true. Yeah, she's getting pretty hot in the banks. Well, we would know the 1 goes. Now, is this a good enough angle to pot this and bump the 3? And the answer to that is yes. Only problem is the 3's now bumped safe. I would say that's pretty safe where it's sitting. It's very tight to try and get there. There's no way you can get to that. But she can try and duck for cover behind the 8 ball. I mean, that 9 ball is a good stopper. So you can hit this with the right pace to get across. So she's gone the other way rather than letting that cue ball run, but the end result is still excellent. And that's got Cobra tied up here. But if he can hit this right, at the right pace, he might get lucky. Almost there. He had the right idea and he had the right pace. Just caught the 10 ball too thick. Well, that's just a wee bit more juice. The angle isn't bad though. I think she was maybe trying to play that in the side. I'm not 100% certain, but The angle's not bad to get down here, following through off the 4 and going to the right side of the 5. Well, she's went with a spin. And maybe the run through was the better shot. I don't know whether, I mean, I should have went behind her shot to have a look, because it looked to me that she could run through and be on that 5. So now it's important for Cobra to administer punishment. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, the angle wasn't great, but I think the cue ball might have been heading towards this bottom right hand corner pocket, but sometimes you've got to have the nerve to give it a go. She went for the backspin and the English to get around the angles and down. Any other day of the week that might well have worked. But Cobra, unexpectedly, is back at the table. You know, see if you'd potted that. See if you potted that 4 ball with a bit of spin. Do you not think it would have drifted over to the right a bit more? The angle was slightly going to the right. I have to judge. I should have went behind the shot to have a better idea. But anyway, it's all in the past, and it's a 3-2 lead for Cobra. Let's see, or LS3's breaking. Now that's a wide open break, but no ball. Now, quick look again, and Slim has now got a 10-5 lead, so only a race to 13, so Matt is in serious trouble. And LS3 on the dry break, and the only thing that can come to a rescue, looking at the table, is the 4 ball. Let's have a quick look down here. Oh, that's serious touch and go. I think it's too tight an angle. Let's see what he thinks. I mean, if you were sitting here, I think even if you got to that 4, I think the chances are you're pushing it to the long rail. It's very difficult to judge, but that's what it looks like to me. Well, it might be the bank's the best option. Now, major problem is the fact the 10 ball's right there. How do you get the cue ball out? I think you've just got to ride your luck here. Now, if he hits the back of the 10, he's going that way, isn't he? Well, he's hit it side on. And he'll take that every day of the week. That's better than nothing at all. Well, it's looking good for another 2-rack lead, I believe. I think Cobra was up 2-0 at the start, wasn't he? So, back to the 2-rack lead. I'll have a quick drink. I got an email through from Twitch today and I clicked on it to go to read what it was that they had to say. They've updated their sort of terms and conditions again. Now, whether you know or you don't know, I've always said Twitch does not really archive your videos the way that YouTube does. This video that's live streamed right now is automatically saved. You don't have to do nothing other than what you decide you want to do with it, i.e. Change the title, add a thumbnail, or add it to a playlist. In my case, the playlist for this tournament. The video itself is saved for good. You don't have to actively do anything on Twitch. You always do, unless you're a Twitch Prime customer and all of that crap. In the normal course of events, this live stream would stay on Twitch for 14 days and then it gets binned, unless I save the whole video as a highlight. If I save it as a highlight, it will automatically be then kept on Twitch as it is on YouTube. They've now cut that limit to 7 days, and then after 7 days it goes. But as I don't archive the videos on Twitch, I couldn't care less. What I'm worried about is that YouTube might go down the same route. That's the only thing I'm worried about. And they suddenly turn around and say, right, if you've not got, like me, I've got 1,000 odd videos. Most of them are crap. But if I want to keep them, then you've got to download them and fill your hard drive with them. So, let's just hope that doesn't happen, or they don't go down that route. But anyway, the news is for LS3. She's trailing. See, again, that rat opened reasonably well. Now, this time the 2 and the 5 got kicked in, I think, with the cue ball. Sorry, the 9 ball. Now that, the 1 ball obviously isn't going. The Cobra's, he's not called anything, so presumably it's just looking to miss the 10 and use the 8. And it hasn't really got there. LS3 can see enough of the 1 to get away from it and send it back towards the 10. There's a danger here if this 1 ball comes this side of the 10. That's the only concern I would have with this shot. And again, she's used the 8 ball rather than going up the table. If you try to get that sort of there and go up the table, there's a chance of leaving a combo. So that was sensible. Except for the fact, well, he's called the 3. And he'll just be glad to get a hit in this and get it safe. Well, now, again, there's another dangerous shot here. If you try the lock up on the 8 ball, that's easy enough to play. The problem is that there might be an angle up and down here. The 4 ball could be a bit in the way if it ends up that Cobra's going to have to try and kick this one if it ends in the rail. So we'll see what the ploy is. Now it's getting interesting, because now it isn't easy to get away from this 1 ball. I think Cobra's looking to see if he's got enough room to try and bump the 10 in. I think, or he had a quick look at that. I think he's given up any idea of that. But again, the cue ball is leaking out. But it's leaked out right in the line of that 8 ball. And he'll be happy with that. I thought it was going to get to the rail, but even if it got to the rail, it was still good cover. That was a good shot. And he gets his reward. So Cobra wins the safety battle and has ball in hand to stretch the lead. and I'm looking to see what the possible problem's going to be. Well, it's going to be immediate, and he's just going to stun up to the left-hand side and leave that cut on the 3. And even if he bumps the 9 and he doesn't bump it too hard, he's still going to have the cut on the 4. And he's well away from the 9. So already there's looks like a mini crisis on here now. Again, just a quick tab. He's on the 4, so we're giving him the 4. Quick tab to have a look and see that Slim is 11.6 up, so he's heading over the line. He's not quite there, but he's not far off it. Now, can he just do the little... yeah, can just do a little dink, one of these little a sort of killy stun shot. Just drag it like that. I would be potting this with a wee tad of right. Just a wee tad of right to shallow the angle. And, well, that's come off fairly square, so quite comfortable pace, easy enough 9, and easy enough to just drag, you know, kill the pace nice and soft. So, Cobra's safety was the turning point in that rack. The more important thing, though, is it's a 3-rack lead. And LS3, if she applies herself the way she's been doing recently, there's no panic. You've just got to bide your time, and above all, don't contribute to your problems. Well, welcome to Interchange X. Well, the break from LS3 looks dry, and she may well find herself in trouble here because Cobra's confident enough. I think, yeah, he's got to squeeze this and drop the cue ball onto the 10. Got to trust. Well, he hasn't got right on it, but a quick look. Oops, hang on a minute. Wrong button there. There's a gap to get the hit on it. Well, there's work to do in this rack. The way things are sitting, the 5 ball would be the major issue for the time being. Although, once the 1, 2, and 3 go out of the way, that 4 ball up in the top right hand corner would allow you to stun along the short rail in the top and get behind the 5 and take it long down into this corner as well. And that might be in the plan ahead. But look at this 2 ball. This is fairly close. Yeah, at distance, they're not easy. But look at the finish. And this is going to frustrate LS3 a wee bit, but don't be frustrated. Stick to the game plan. Is it going to stay up? Yes, the spin. Oh, what a shot that is. Look at the way that is finished. Well, it's not that shot that matters, it's the end result here. And I don't think Cobra can get a line. He's going to have to put left English on this. He's looking at that, but the line isn't there to get to that 2 ball. And again, again, common sense prevails. There is no way to get the line to get to that 2. So the far simpler thing to do is to mess things up a bit for LS3. What the hell happened here? Oh, but again, I was reading the chat. Oh no, it's right enough. Cobra just played the deliberate foul. That's what it was. And LS3 said ball in hand. I'm trying to keep tabs on the chat. Yeah, Steve had a lot of nice things to say about the Interchange X. For the most part, he certainly came to the conclusion that you played pool in real life. And there's the result come through. One Pocket Slim has gone through by 13 racks to 6 against MC Clarkey. Well done to Slim. Unlucky to Matt. So Steve does want to know if you've been a pool player. He definitely assumes you are, or you were at some time in your life. But if not, you've learned a lot in VP4 and VP3 in the past. LS3 trying to duck away. Well, there's enough distance on it for this to be tricky as well. We're just going to try and bank it past the 9 by the look of it. Just trying to cut it along the rail. Well, the most important thing with that shot was getting cover, but there's just a little edge. But this has got to be feather-like touch again. Really thin. And the bump in the 8 ball has done it. So it makes it a lot simpler for Cobra. He can try and do a similar shot, although he's hampered over the 8. Well, I think that answers Steve's question. Interchange X. The answer is yes. And Super Admin has arrived in the room. I don't know whether he's. I'll have a quick tab and have a look and see whether he's in Discord. And we'll see this shot first. That looks pretty good. Hang on a minute. No, he isn't, so he's obviously busy. So that's a good safety from LS3. I mean, it's not difficult to hit, but we all know what we're hoping for here. If you're the player, you're just hoping you get lucky. And that was almost a great shot. Now LS3 again, if you're confident with your stroke, you'll come up the middle of the table into that gap and just gone a wee bit more than comfort's sake. LS3 says in the chat, who is this super admin character going in and out like he owns the place? Now, if that typing in the chat helps their game fine. If it interferes with their concentration, then, like I say, keep the chat down to a minimum. But that was well played. Absolutely spot on. You know my opinions on chatting in matches. I'm a pretty miserable git at the best of times, and I much prefer to focus on what's going on rather than having to read chat and go backward and forward. I'm old school. Well, there's your slug break, a disastrous slug break if ever you've seen it.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
That's the worst break I've seen, I think, so far. And if Steve wants video evidence of his handiwork, that's it right there. What about that for a break? Well done, Slim. Was you playing good, or was Matt playing ugly? What was the synopsis and the summary of how the match went? Now, how does this 4-ball look? Angle in the 3-ball is fine, but this is a pretty small area to get on that 4 for it in the side. Well, this pace looks not too bad. And, I mean, she's got to be hitting enough of this 10 and bumping the 8 to hold for the 5. It all hinges on this pot. I don't think it's going to go through any gap. I mean, it's too tight. She's digging down a wee bit. Oh, coming around the corner and out. 10-ball needs to stay out of the way. And she's got a pot. Of course, the 6-ball, again, is going nowhere fast. So, this is not done and dusted this rack. Steve's back in again. I wish he'd make his mind up. Is he just in looking to see he can get in with a little button in the tourney page or what? Let's see if she can get the combo that Bedhead's talking about. Looks good to me. Now, you've just got to hit that where the edge of the donut is. Where that edge of the donut is where you have to hit that. It's a dead on shot. I mean, it's got to go in if you hit it, and you're such a close distance. It's got to go in. Well, I don't know what the hell she tried there. Let me have a look at that.
Let's watch a replay of that last shot.
Did she take her eye off the ball and not get lined up? Somebody maybe can explain what happened there. Hang on a minute. Let me just get my camera reset. Because that was, I think she was looking at the shot, but I don't know whether she accidentally. I honestly don't know what happened there. Is Steve there? Oh, there he is. Hang on a minute.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chapman, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Well, Steve's late to the party again, and we just saw the worst slug break in the whole tournament there, Steve.
I saw it. Well, I reduced the gaps in the rack, but I may have to do some other things to it too.
Yeah, Larry's not necessarily happy with the outcome. I tried 4 breaks, 2 of them were good. Moved further to the right when I broke my 3rd break and it was slugged. The 4th break broke well and I got no ball.
The issue isn't how big the gaps are as much as where they are.
I'm going to have to do some choosing and picking where to put them.
Oh, it's just wiped its feet and gone in. Well, LS3, she's just hanging on at the moment. That match between Slim and Matt was arranged at the last minute. It went ahead and Slim came out on top. I think it was 13-6 or something like that to Slim, so he's through. Well, Steve was the answer to that, semi-pro, and I mean, I'm not speaking on Steve's behalf, but what I'm saying is that he saw enough of these breaks to try and do something to try and ease the situation with the way these balls were breaking. That's all he did. He can still maybe tweak it again and see if it makes any better difference. He will answer that.
Let me explain it better in less words. I did something easy, not the right thing. So next time I'll do the right thing.
Well, he's got to. Is he trying to just? Yeah, he looks like he's got a tad of inside left on this, just to go through and kill it. And this is a crisis now here for LS3.
So that Slim looks like he must have played pretty good because McClarkey was no pushover.
Now that's the question that we need answering, Steve. I read the support page on the update, and I thought it was a wee bit vague in terms of what rack she actually changed. Was it across the board change? I think it read it and it said some games.
Well, it was most games. Most games.
So 9-ball, 10-ball, 8-ball. Not the
yeah, those all got changed.
Yeah, carom tables and that, nothing touched, obviously.
No, I mean there were some games like snooker wasn't changed. I can't remember what else. I don't think straight pool was changed. There were certain ones that are excluded from that.
Well, the break with Cobra, and now it's a 4-rack lead. Now, hang on a minute. Was that Cobra just typed here on his break? Right, so he's heading to the bathroom for a short break. So while he does, we will go to the support page to read this again.
I'll patch out the nerves. That's the best part about playing and competing is getting nerves.
Yeah, fixed ball.
You gotta learn to enjoy that.
Fixed bug with a high run.
As long as you're not taking heat, you're okay. Nerves are okay. Heat is bad. And if you want to know the difference, heat is like when you can't even pull the mouse back, or you're shaking so bad that that's heat. I'm sure most of you guys aren't experiencing heat playing VP.
Well, interchange X, that was a thing. Before you arrived, Steve, I was telling Interchange X that you were reasonably impressed with his performance and that he must be a pool player, and he has played some pros in the past.
So yeah, I'm sure he's played quite a bit of pool.
So we're off and running again. The break from Cobra was dry, and a start here for LS3. A good angle to get across onto that 3-ball. And 5-ball is a problem. 5-ball is a big problem. I think it's blocked into both pockets. Certainly.
I'm going to play the 10, which is interesting. It's probably going to be a billiard, which, where's that 3-ball sitting? This thing's pretty doable.
This is pretty good.
The 3-ball is going to help. I would hit this with a lot of speed, though, because
Yeah. And it goes.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at the wrong ball. Never mind.
Perfect.
Now let's see how this rack breaks. In general, you should get more good breaks. It's not going to get rid of the slugs without, you know, dealing with some specific gaps, which I'll do. That's on my list. The thing about the way balls rack in real life is they tend to get gaps in certain places, and players tend to be picky about gaps in certain places. The thing that I always laugh about is, you know, most players don't understand how to rack. I mean, they just give you bad rack after bad rack, and they think they're giving you good racks. And it's hard to even get mad at them. I mean, you know, if it's somebody that plays, I'm talking about like when I go to league night or something, you know, these people they couldn't give you a good rack for the life of them. I mean, because they just don't understand how to rack. You know, good players do. If you're getting bad racks from good players, they're doing it on purpose. But what I laugh about is people will make the 9-ball on the break, you know, and I can tell you, I don't think I only play one night a week a league because I don't really like it, but I don't think this whole year anybody's made a 9-ball on the break on me because I know how to rack, so the 9-ball is not going in. So when the 9-ball goes in on the break, and you know, people think, oh, that's bad luck. You lost the game because the 9-ball went on the break. I mean, almost every time it's because they don't know how to rack. If the 9-ball is going in the bottom 2 pockets, that's because you didn't rack it properly. That should never happen, almost ever. It'd have to be a really funny kick. If it goes in the side pockets or up table, then that's, you know, that's just kind of bad luck. But if you want to know what a good rack is, a 9-ball, the 9-ball will not move much. If you watch like Magic Rack, the 9-ball just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this whole racking thing, there's actually quite a bit to it as far as trying to make a rack that's like real life, because in real life, what people usually do is they pay attention to certain things, certain balls, and then other places they'll allow gaps. And if you're going to check a rack on somebody, you check a rack, you have to understand where gaps are bad, where they're not a problem, and where they could potentially be beneficial to you. And I think Slim mentioned something about oh, it was Interchange X. Yeah, I've got the DVD, Racking Secrets 1 and 2, and that was Joe. What's his name? Joe Tucker did those, and they're good DVDs. They'll tell you most of what you need to know. They don't tell you everything, but they'll tell you most of what you need to know about breaking.
Well, Cobra has a 4-rack lead. Scratch the break. And a chance for LS3. Now, these opportunities simply have to be taken. Cobra says, I hate breaking.
Well, you know, breaking's one of those things that's kind of a voodoo thing, you know. I mean, it's difficult because there's a lot of things to it. There's a lot of tweaks. It's difficult to be really good at it all the time. You know, the humidity, the dirt on the balls, the tablecloth. You know, balls can be different sizes. You know, balls wear and they change sizes, especially if they're older balls. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into how the table's going to break. And, you know, knowing how to adjust and what to do to make balls and get a shot on the low ball is
oh dear,
it's difficult.
I'm sure you've had nights where you're convinced that there is voodoo working on you when you're trying to break and things ain't happening.
Well, here's the thing: is here's what I do, just as a sort of a general procedure. I have some standard places I start breaking depending on the game. if I'm hitting the ball solid and I hit a couple breaks and I don't like the way they break, nothing goes in, then I'm going to change something.
What a shot.
Oh, nice shot there. So,
Let's watch a replay
then
of
it's
that last
understanding
shot.
what to change and what to try. And
She played it yet? Oh, I thought I'd missed it. That was a good shot.
so it is difficult. Now, VP is a lot easier in one sense, is that you don't have, you don't have to deal with your stroke, which is a huge part of it. But you still have to, you still really need a procedure. You need I'm going to do A, B, C, D. I'm going to move the ball to this position. I'm going to change the speed. I'm going to move the Q-tip like this. And if you've developed, a good procedure on how you're going to do things. And I will say that VP, the break doesn't change so much. It's mostly the ball positions. We're not changing humidity. We're not figuring the dirt on the balls during the break other than, more of a constant throw action. So there are some things that you don't have to deal with.
Well, I would think that the again going into maybe a regular pool hall, where there's a lot of activity, I would think that racking the balls on tables that have got maybe a fair bit of wear on them, and especially where the balls are always sitting in the rack. I'm sure, obviously, the indentations in the cloth and everything must make a big difference on racking the balls.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that affect it. I mean, sometimes you get people that want to start tapping balls. They'll tap the head ball, and that's not the greatest thing to do, especially if you hit it hard, because then it makes a dent in the table that's not coming out. Especially if you have, most places put a spot where the one ball is,
Mm-hmm.
and that dent's not coming out if you hit it hard. So there's things people do that mess it up, but. The racks aren't always that good. I mean, but if you understand how to rack the balls, you can usually get a pretty good rack. And it's really not that hard to do. It's just people don't understand just the basic technique of how you put the balls up. How you move the balls into position and keep them tight. There's some real simple things, and you see people start pushing balls and rolling balls and doing all that. And as soon as you start doing that, you're probably not getting a good rack.
That billiard on the 8 there into the side pocket was called. The only problem is that she got herself locked out in the 1, but that'll do it.
Look at that. That was...
I think that will do. Then again...
I don't think this ball goes. It's tight. We'll see. If it does go, it's going to take some right English to throw it.
Yeah, he'd have to tweak it and be brave enough to play it.
Well, I mean, it's not brave to hit it with right English. If you're going to curve it, it is. But I think it might just throw in with some right English.
I think he's going left English there with the Q-tip.
Yeah, well, it must...
Oh, he's going right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a hard shot, especially because you can hit this easy.
Yeah, caught the 5.
You got to get it past the 5 ball. And that's one of the things that happens when you hit it easy is the cue ball is going to turn faster. And that's probably just what happened there was it's probably aimed outside the 5 ball and hit it easy enough for the cue ball turned. He had to butt up a little bit and he may have been trying to turn it, which I'm not sure he had to there. I mean, you can make a ball that doesn't go with no English, with just right English, without curving the cue ball, because it's going to throw more.
Well, LS3 has to hold it together. Back to within 3 at the moment. Well controlled.
LS3 is hanging in this match. Interchange X said, often one mistake leads to more. That sounds like my golf game. That's not my pool game, but my golf game's exactly like that. I can't have one bad hole. It's 2 or 3 in a row.
Come on, Steve. How many clubs have you actually snapped?
Oh, I haven't. I have broken clubs before, but I haven't broken one in probably 15 years. I mean, I got through that phase.
It's getting too expensive.
I've never broken a pool key, if you're wondering.
Well, it looks so simple. And just get that cue ball nicely into the table. Make it very comfortable. And it'll be back to within 2, but the break goes back to Cobra.
Yeah, well.
And Cobra doesn't like breaking, so LS3 will be...
That doesn't mean it'll be a bad one. He's breaking from a more standard position. I kind of like what Interchange X was doing by trying to get the ball to hop. I think it's a little easier to control it there. That's not bad.
3 balls going as well.
Yeah. So that was a good cue ball.
Oh, look at the one.
You get the cue ball in this area of the table, vertically or lengthwise, and you're usually going to be pretty good.
Nice angle just to put a wee bit of spin on it. And, well, I'm going to say it, this rack's over.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine he's going to mess this rack up.
Well, this is exactly what Cobra's wanting in his position. He's seen LS3 just snipping back a little bit there, but he's had a great break. Landed pretty perfect enough on the one, and he's away and running, and this is gone as far as LS3 is concerned, this rack.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing about this game at this level is, it really comes down to not making mistakes and then breaking halfway decent. If you do those 2 things, you're going to be in every match, and Cobra being the favorite and being in head, if he does those things, he's going to win this match. But if he starts making mistakes, then anything could happen.
Well, he's certainly not made a lot of mistakes that I can count on.
Well, LS3's been playing better. She just keeps getting better. Every tournament we see her play better.
So this is the one. Now the 9 ball's closer to that top rail, but we've seen what happened earlier on. Don't go top side of it if you can help it. Pace looks perfect. Might be going a bit straight though, but I don't think it makes any difference. No, not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the match and who you're playing, just one mistake can lose you the match. That's not going to be the issue in this match, but I mean, it certainly, they certainly make more than, Cobra makes more than, from this point on, maybe 4 mistakes, and he lets her in.
Is that you just coming to the conclusion? You're a bit late on the go, semi-pro. You've just come to the conclusion that I'm a jinx. Go and talk to Larry.
Oh, God. Yeah, he's definitely jinx. Oh, now look at this crazy break. Wow.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
Angle there. And hitting way down on the cue ball below the center.
Yeah, it did. I mean, all it did is draw rather than getting that pop.
Well, the problem with doing that is you're going to lose a lot of speed on the cue ball. You need to hit that cue ball. You want to catch the core of the cue ball as much as you can. In real life, the way people break is they're hitting the ball above center, so they are putting some topspin on that. Well, that's a break. He missed that combo.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
But yeah, I mean, they're doing that so they can get the cue ball to squat. But still, they're still catching most of the core. As soon as you start getting more extreme, you're just going to lose a lot of speed.
Now that's right English in the cue ball there. Watch this.
Let's watch the replay of that last shot.
That was a very well played safety.
And that's understanding the shot. The right English kills it in the rail, kills the pace, and the cue
Well,
ball is dead.
That's a very common safe there, where you're playing over with inside English to check up the ball and get it to lock. There are some ones you'll play like that with outside English, but that's the rarity, and they're a lot harder to play.
That's it. That sort of knowledge is what a lot of lesser players in virtual pool want to be paying attention to. Stuff like that, little tips like that is what you need to keep your eye out for by watching these streams.
Well, what you should do is go get offline and practice that kind of shot.
Exactly.
That comes up all the time. And, getting it locked on the ball like that's huge because that's, that was almost guaranteed ball in hand where that one was.
Yeah, if a VP4 player, a virtual pool player say, well, how do I get better? Well, go and try and execute certain types of shot that you might have watched, whether it be in real life or whether it be in one of these streams.
Sure. And the great thing about offline is you can just do undo and shoot it over and over again until you figure it out, then set it up a little different. I do the same thing in real life. I practice things like that. But the things that I harp on people in here a lot, the better players, like safeties and banks and kicking, it's because those are where I see deficiencies in a lot of the better players that they can improve on. Now I know that the game isn't the same as real life, but I can get on this game and I can look at banks and I can see how to hit them, and it works pretty good for me. So I know it's not that different.
What is she trying here? Was she trying to leave herself this sort of angle to come across and bump this 5? She's maybe going a bit.
I would have thought she'd play for the combo. On the 5-7.
The combo's got room. Yeah, that was leaving it too tough. Well,
there's no reason to try to break a ball out like that when you got a combo that's that easy.
Cobra's giving it a good look.
He'll play the combo. The only problem with the combo is whether you're going to shoot the 5 ball. Where are you going to shoot the 5 ball? Because the 8 ball's there, like in a position he's at here, I'm not sure he can shoot it in the same pocket, because he needs to cut this some. And if you're not, you're going to have to deal with the fact that 8 ball's in front of the other pocket.
It looks as if it's heading towards the 8.
Well, I would hit it hard enough to get it past the 8 maybe, or over towards the 10. He's smart.
That's one way to do it. That was well done.
See, that's thinking. Yeah. Because he knows the 8's there, and he, figures out, okay, I can just slide this way.
Yep.
That was the right thing to do. It was simple and it worked. That's the thing is, you go back and watch your matches and stuff like that. It's pretty easy to see, oh, you know what, I should have done this here. Everybody does it. Even really good players do that, or they'll make a mistake on how to play a shot. They just are less likely to. Yeah, this is kind of in between. I still like going 3 rails here. He's going to hit it with inside.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with this is it's a little touchy. You can run into the 9 ball. You can underhit it. He hit it good. But I like going around, even though you had to hit it harder, because that shot's a little less reliable. Not that I don't shoot that shot, but in that situation, I would have gone the other way.
It's going to 4 again. But important thing is it's only 3 that Cobra needs.
The travel and the wait times, yeah. That's why I'm not playing any pool. I have anybody to travel with. I don't feel like driving 10 hours by myself.
And ball in the break. No shot in the 1 though. Oh, it's the 10 ball that went.
Yeah, I'd be thinking about kicking at this one ball. I'm not sure there's a great place to push out to.
I certainly wouldn't be pushing out up top.
I'd kick out the end rail and send the one ball up towards the 5 and maybe try to get a hook on the 7, because the problem with pushing out like this is, you know, that's actually a pretty good push out. There's not tons of opportunity.
There's not enough to get the edge of that to cut it, I don't think. No.
Yeah, I mean, that was a decent push out. Still got safe back. That was a nice safety play. A lot of times, you know, the kick is just a better choice than pushing out. Because you can't, if you leave somebody something that's too good, you're going to pay for it.
Welcome to Sylvia. Girl power. Sylvia's here to back LS3.
Now, this could be good.
She needs all your help at the moment.
Yeah, and it is good.
Well, she's got to call the 8. I don't know whether you can get down. Can you get down that side to get to this combo?
Yeah.
That side pocket in the way. There's a side pocket in the way.
I think you can get it. It's because it's gonna, when it's this shallow, it's gonna skid some. You're gonna try to jump it, which I think is gonna be pretty tough with a full ball, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I would have played off the side rail, tried to spin it, and see if I could get it to skid enough to, you know.
I think she got carried away with her success she had in that jump.
Well, here's the thing: is you're going to try to you got a safety there off the side rail too, where you bump that one ball, and if you hit it too thin, it goes into the rail, hits the 8, and the cue ball goes over and uses the 5 to hook it. I mean, there was other options besides a jump with a playing cue, which is, everybody knows how tough that is, a jump a full ball with a playing cue.
I think the overall impression I'm getting here is that generally Cobra's been far more in control of this match. It seems to be the case that he's not. I mean, you could use the word dominate, but he's been fairly comfortable. It might have got different had LS3 got right on his tail. But
I got a story on that. I got a friend that flew to China to play in a tournament and went 2 and out from the U.S. to China. So that's pretty brutal.
Oh dear, what's happened here? I presume you can see the 4. Yeah, you can get it.
Oh yeah, this is no problem. This is a nice angle, really. All right, you like that angle all day. That's fine. As soon as you get to the point where you start pocketing balls a little better, that's a really good angle. You don't have to do anything with a cue ball. That's the best way to become good at moving the cue ball, is shoot every shot where you don't have to do anything.
Exactly. It's the simplest game in the world then when you can do that. Well, this is major crisis now. If it wasn't already, it certainly is now.
Well, it wasn't exactly a vacation. When you're a pro pool player and you're spending that much money to go over there and play, and you're trying to make a living and you go 2 and out, you've lost a lot of money on that trip.
Break back with LS3. She needs more than a break, though. I think she needs divine intervention.
Well, I mean, couple things have happened that, you know, she's making more mistakes than Cobra, and you can't do that.
Well, that's a pretty good break.
Inadvised.
10 ball just going to block the shot in the 2. And
she's got a shot on this one ball. it goes.
I thought the one ball went. It was a 9 ball again. That's mad.
She's got a shot on this one ball. I think she'll make it too. And it's sitting where it's pretty natural shape from here. I think you can just hit this and go up and down and you get shape on the 2.
What went in the break there? Yeah, it was a 9.
All she had to do is just hit it, no English, and it's perfect. Who the hell is Scotty Slow?
Oh, he's been in the stream before, but I don't know who he is or who she is. Well, this is. Let's have a look at what. How do you get out of here and avoid hitting something?
Drop back. Yeah. Oh, she's fine. I think she'll be out here.
Well, if she can, she's done all she can. All that's asked of her in this rack.
And that's perfect. You want to get where you can just roll forward on this. Now, this is one of the shots in real life. You got to be a little careful because you can get a skid and then the cue ball comes up short and you're hooked. And VP, you're not ever going to get a skid like that. So it's if you leave that ball short, that's all your own fault. So Larry won Friday night 9 ball. That's good. That's good. Larry's won that a lot of times. All right. Well, a little damage control here. I mean, she's going to need to play really well from here on out and not make bad decisions or make execution mistakes. But, one break and run out and it's real trouble. I mean, not that it isn't real trouble now, but he gets on the hill to 7. It's
3 ball gets kicked in off the 6. 4 and 5's tied up, I think.
Yeah, got trouble with the 5 and
or is that the 8?
Not an easy way to get to it either. Yeah, there's no easy way to break that 5 ball out. I mean, this kind of situation, I would be playing position to knock that 5 to the end rail and freeze the cue ball on the 8. I would already have that strategy right now at this point because I don't see any easy way to break it out. Shoot some kind of crazy stub shot is not going to win you games. So from here, I would try to get well, he pulled that back too far. He wanted more angle than that on the 4. You want to get in a place on this 5 where you can, ideally play a lockup safe on the 8. If you don't get there, you're going to play some other kind of safe that won't be as good. But ideally, you want to get that cue ball right on top of the 8.
Welcome to Bankster.
Okay, stop. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So only the thing that would be better would be to be close to it. He's got a good angle. And that's not great. I mean, it's not terrible, but the problem here is it kicks easy and she can get lucky. And what I mean by lucky is not necessarily making this ball, but getting safe here.
And that might be the case. Look at where the 10 ball is. Look at the 10 ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, can that 5 ball be made? It's close. And you're going to call the 5. I think this 5 ball can be made. The only thing is that you might actually have to hit this with a little right English. I can't really stun it. He's put a little left English on it, which, yeah, see, he shouldn't have put left English on that. If anything, you need a right English. Maybe if there was a way to stun it or put a little draw on it, because I don't think he'd make that ball with left English.
Oh, this needs to hold up, this cue ball. That was heading in a bad direction there.
Yeah, the only thing you gotta be careful here is the scratch off the 9 ball. It's not likely at that angle, but she hit it easy, it can't. Yeah, that's what she did. She hit it easy, but she missed the frickin' ball.
Now it's a
Ouch.
stunt. Now it's a stunt.
That hurts.
Yep, that's a painful one. And it'll be even more painful when this goes in.
Well, you want to hit this one with a little bit of right English. Now, some shots like that you want to hit with left English. That one you want to hit with right because you want to make sure you got to the right side of the 10 ball.
Scotty Slow says, yesterday I upgrade my account in VP4. Gentlemen, maybe in future I play some tournament. Well, I think you need to learn to walk before you can run. That would be my advice.
Let them play in the tournament. Have some fun.
You need to find your feet first. And the best advice is stay away from Spectrodon, Cobra, Semi-Pro, any tactical geniuses, stay away from them.
There's plenty of tournaments you can get in, and there are some handicap tournaments. I mean, you know.
Yeah, find your feet first.
There's plenty of stuff you can go right ahead and playing.
Yeah, all I'm saying is don't go in at the deep end. Start at the shallow end and paddle around for a little bit. Where's this cue ball going? I think it's going to get there.
Yeah. You know, some people like the deep end. I'll never forget one of my buddies. He brings this guy into the ballroom with him, and he says to him, whatever you do, he goes, don't play this guy over here. He goes, you can play anybody else. Don't play this guy. He turns around to get a drink and turns back around, and his buddy's on the table with a guy just told him don't play.
Well, I think it obviously goes through the gap. Or does it? No, he's on the 5. I'm looking at the 6. Forgive me. It's 8:30. I'm time for bed. I'm going home.
Yeah, this shot's pretty easy. You just need to stay above the side pocket.
Yeah, well.
Just like that. That's perfect. And, you know, I mean, Cobra's not going to mess up too many tables like this.
Well, I don't think Cobra's been really stressed in this match. He's not played anything numptish. He's been very solid and clinical when he's had that chance. The safeties have put LS3 in trouble more often than not.
The thing is LS3's really improved, but now she's at the level where it gets very difficult to get better. And what I mean by that is now it comes down to reducing mistakes.
Yeah.
And they're little things, you know. I put the Q-tip in the wrong place. You know, I played the wrong pattern. I should have played safer, and I didn't. It becomes very little things, and that's when it's hard to get better when it comes down to those little things. Getting better with big things is pretty easy. Getting better with little things takes a lot of time, and you just got to play a lot more.
Well, I'm sure
she'll continue to improve.
This is all over. So Cobra.
Yeah, I agree. Interchange X, they've both gotten better, and now they're at the point where getting better gets harder. And it's one of those. It's the nature of skill games. The better you get, the harder it gets to get better.
Well done to Cobra. He marches on. LS3. Her time is up.
LS3 is out, but good tournament, LS3.
Let's have a look and see what happens next. I think there'll be a wait here for Cobra because Mooncake's waiting on a loser coming through before that's going to move on. So he's going to have a break. Quick look at the schedule again, just as a reminder to everybody. We have 5 matches remaining on the schedule at the moment. We've got Fast Eddie against Z Karaoke tomorrow night at 6 p.m. British Summer Time. That will be 1 p.m. Eastern, and that's the winner's side.
Be a good one.
Then we've got Shibo and Tommy tomorrow night and that is an hour later. So again, there's going to be a crossover. That's a one lost side match. We've got Interchange X and Power Slam at a crazy time, as far as I'm concerned. But I might be crazy enough to stay up, so I might come in and jinx you, Interchange X. Look out.
I think Interchange X is a big favorite in that match.
Well, yeah, I kind of sensed that. I thought, is it worth staying up to watch a bloodbath or a possible bloodbath, or is it might get interesting? I don't know. It depends how I feel. And then we've got Larry against Hairpig, and that will be
that could be match of the week there.
That will be Wednesday night, my time, 8 p.m., 3 p.m. Eastern. And then there's another one next week, next Tuesday, a week tomorrow. Is the match between Fantastic Mr. Fox and Spectre Dawn, and that's going to be worth a watch. I'll be there for that, I can guarantee you. God forbid, or God save me, or God help me, I survive another week, but I should be there. Do we want to look at these stats that are now they're allegedly working?
I should be here. I should be here tomorrow, Hugh. That's my plan, anyways.
Right. So break stats. 10 ball stats. Racks run, machine and stop.
Yeah, let's see if my bug fix worked. Although that bug was not going to show up all the time.
Well, machine's way out in front. But matches played is the contributor to this, I think, because he's in 16 racks ran. But it's not all that false. He's been doing the business when he's seen a table. He's been able to get there on a reasonably good basis. Stubbs in second and 10, Bedhead, Spectre Dawn in 8, Slim 7, Tommy 7, then Albinario 6, Barker 5, Cobra 5, Bankster 5, Interchange X 4, Cheeky Chico 4, LS3, of course, now that's not going to change for her, unfortunately. Paul in 4, Mooncake and Matt as well. Matt's gone. So that's how it stands there. Fantastic Mr. Fox is down there in 3. Racks High Run. We've got a tie at the top. Stubb on 3. Mark Shark on 3. Again, matches are of the counter there and how many there has been.
It's tough to get Racks High Run in alternate break. I mean, because basically what has to happen is you run out, and then maybe they missed the ball maybe they didn't make a ball on a break and you run out, then you break and run out. And the only way to get 3 then is they have to break dry and you run out again.
Well,
or vice versa with you starting it.
Look at the money ball shot. There's Slim. He's joint top of the league as far as that goes. He's on 39 racks, money ball shot, 100%. And then further down, we've got Albinario, 33, 100%. And then, lo and behold, there is the guy that you thought was a pool player, Interchange X, on 30, and 30 have gone in. So 100%. So that's doing the business when it counts right on the money ball. What else are we looking at? No, that was Racks High Run. And we did the Racks Run, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Now the break stats, because Cobras and LS3s was very low, but it was mentioned that they've only had one match each.
Look at Cobra's run out from the breaks. He's got 1.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
Machines in the top there with 7. And look at the percentage of balls in the break though. Everybody's under 1 apart from Bill. And as you go further down, you'll find another one, which is Snake Eyes. Is he still in, or is he out the tournament? I think Snake Eyes is gone, isn't he?
I believe so.
Sharky.
I think he lost yesterday.
A bit of news on Sharky 9 for you guys that are interested. Sharky 9, I was made aware he hasn't been keeping good health, which is probably a valid reason why he hasn't been around for a long, long while. But Bobby Barris made a post. He made a comment on my YouTube channel on one of the videos, and which you don't really get great notification from YouTube, by the way. I was just trawling through them, and I noticed a comment by Bobby Barris, and he was sort of moaning about the fact that his players didn't show up, etc., etc. But the other news is that Sharky 9 has decided he wants out. So Bobby Barris's team. I think it's 9-ball shots. I might be wrong. But Bobby's got problems with his team. I believe he'll be trying to find other players. And Sharky9 has decided that he's going to drop out. So he's one-man short. So Bobby might be looking for people for his team. And if you're maybe interested, then keep an eye out for him and see whether he might have solved the problem. I don't know, but that's just to let you know about Sharky9. So, unless Steve has anything else to say,
well, I mean, I was just thinking about the league, and let me go look at the league page. So we got one player on the list, Fuzzy Dunlop, that wants an invite. Did he? Because I don't think is he on a team? Because right now Bobby's short somebody. He's only got 4 players.
Yeah.
So yeah, he needs a guy. He's got invites out to Blind Hog, Michael Page, Capo, FTD, FTW, Fuzzy Dunlop's there. I mean, he shouldn't have any trouble getting a player.
Yeah, there they are there, yeah. Well, looking at that, I presume that they play at the 3 players below him. Are they not in the team? No. Bobby Barris, then there's Sergeresh. He was, I think, Sergeresh was a no-show as well the other day. Zangetsu's there, Tony Union. There's all these other dimly litted players who. It looks to me that he's got 4 players, so he needs 1, but he's still got enough for a team. He just doesn't have that extra sub.
Yeah, I mean it's usually a good idea to have the extra sub unless you've got players that you're communicating with on a regular basis and you know they're reliable, because otherwise you get yourself in trouble.
Well, that's also the thing that Bobby was complaining about, the fact that he had been sending messages out. I think he sent a message out an hour before the match, just out of sort of desperation to get a hold of Sergeresh, got no response. So you need. I mean, I'm getting comments from my team to the messages I'm sending out to them. I'm getting responses. So I know the messages are getting through. I don't know about the other team captains, but if they're not getting through, when they do get a hold of the player, they want to make sure that the player's got all the message options open on their profile so that everything's going to come through.
Yeah,
Plus,
you want to make sure you're forwarding your messages in your email so that you get the email. That way, I think most people get email on their smartphones, so be able to see the message.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, guys. If you're going to be the kind of player that doesn't respond to your captain, next league, they may not be picking you to be on their team. I mean, you got to be somewhat responsible to your captain and your teammates.
Yeah, I mean it's not a hard task. I mean, whenever you come online, the first thing you do is check your profile. If you aren't getting emails through, and you'll certainly be getting messages, they'll show up in the top left-hand corner. Unlucky LS3, it wasn't going to be your day.
Oh, I've got a question for you, Hugh.
Yeah.
Did the alerts for the league work?
No. Is the short answer to that. Now I have to just expand on that a bit. I was confused on Friday, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm a team captain, I wasn't thinking, I should be getting every message coming through. I should be getting every alert coming through. What I was thinking though is that I wasn't in the team on Friday or on Saturday, sorry. And I'm thinking, right, because I wasn't in the lineup, I'm probably not going to get any alert to say that the league's up on Saturday night. Should I have had an alert even though I wasn't in the team, or is it just the team members that are going to get the alert, or the lineup that's going to get the alert? That's what I'm asking.
Let me look right now.
Yeah.
Because
you don't you don't
notify player of league match. All right, so let me see when this is going to run, or when it's supposed to run.
Welcome to Hairpig. Yes, you're late to the party, Hairpig. Cobra played pretty solidly, very smart. And he's through, as is One Pocket Slim earlier in the evening against MC Clarkey. They're through. But you're heading in the right direction, LS3. That's one thing. Should be everybody, since it might need subs. Well, that's probably exactly what I was thinking of one way and then thinking of it the other way where I wasn't in the team, Larry, but I agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
User alert. Yeah, so it should notify you if you have a match. It should notify you if you have a buy. So like if your team has a buy, it should notify you.
No.
Where's start time site is about time. Let's see. I'm stamp minus 4,400. Gotta get out the calculator to figure out how much time this is.
Now, I'm looking at the messages.
I think it's set to 4 hours before. So 4 hours before you play, it should send out an alert. Now that alert, if you're online, should show up. If you're on the client, it should show up in the lobby or your room. You should see the alert. If you're on the website, it should show up on the left panel. And if you're not online on the website or the client, you should get an email as long as the forwarding is turned on for events.
So that is that on the night of the league.
Yeah, but it is currently only going to who's in the lineup.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Right, so the question I need to ask my guys is of whom I don't think any of them are here. Is Popman here? Mark Shark isn't here, and I don't think Steve was here.
Is anybody that played League here?
That's a good question. He might have gone now that the matches are over, but I'm going to ask, when I see my guys, I'm going to ask them if they got notification. Probably.
Larry's here. Larry's in the league.
But was he in the lineup the other night? I don't think he was. Larry wasn't in the lineup. Is it what? I might be wrong.
Look at the results there.
Right. Brainpillow, you were in the lineup the other night there, so you were actually playing matches, weren't you? So he didn't get any, so it can't be working. Yeah. He didn't get anything through.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to set something up where I run through the whole thing on my dev system, because I took a look at it, found a problem, fixed it. I'm gonna actually have to run it. It's a pain in the ass because I got to set up a whole league and the lineups and all that stuff to do it, but that's what's going to happen. All right, well, I'll try to get that done before next weekend, because I think we definitely need the alerts. It's easy for people to forget.
Well, Mark Sharp's there. He's not in the stream, but he's actually just won a match or won a tournament. I don't know whether he's won the tournament or not, but he's won a black ball match. Okay, then, we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Hugh, and thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining again, Steve. Late as ever, but you got here.
Yeah, I made it eventually.
Right, so we hopefully you can join us tomorrow. Some good matches on, a couple of good matches. Yep. There will be a crossover, but we'll take it as it happens and see what we can do. So with that, I will say good night. I'm going for a coffee, and then I won't be far off heading to bed, boys. Right, take care, and we will see you again soon, folks. Good night.
Good night, ladies.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.